What is your American dream?
My American dreams at this moment, living the blissful aspect of knowing that I could be free of my detachments. If I could detach anything that is creating pain, and that this country has allowed me to become the best version of me, I think that is called the American dream for me.
The American dream too is about realization. The most important thing in my life is to find my home. I'm so grateful to be living in America, and it's such an experience for me. To connect with my soul is the way that I'm living my American dream.
Living the American dream in the wildest dream. Who would I ever thought that I was going to live in New York City, having these amazing choices and possibilities? America has been the best gift I ever had, because it has allowed me to become the best version of who I am.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome everybody, it is September 12th, it is Thursday. We are Brad Show Live. My name is Brad. This is Belgium Kim. Hi! There she is. And Dr. Yo-Yo still on vacation.
Yeah.
He is a doctor of love, he claims, and he is spreading love around the world, somewhere in Ethiopia at this point in time.
It's Ethiopian New Year, he had to celebrate.
And in New York, it's a bit chilly today.
Yeah, right?
And cold. I'm cold in the studio also.
I'm officially at the point where I don't know how to dress anymore, Brad, because the afternoons are hot. Like today, the high was 80 and the low was 59. How do I dress for that?
I don't know.
So I'm in leggings and boots.
I don't know, because I was told it was going to be warm today.
Right.
And I'm freezing right now.
Brad, I had to cut a hole in my shoulders just to get some ventilation going today.
Belgium Kim, I had to crawl under my desk to heat up, okay? So, I mean, you're hot, I'm cold.
There's nothing that can be done.
This is like, dogs and cats living together.
It's fall, y'all. It's fall.
Well, let me say hello to Marge Higgs, Jessica Leamy, Joelle Reed. How are you? Squat up, my love, she says. Belgium Kim says, squat up, family. Boy, you've been right in there in the comments every day now.
Listen, I got to keep the family going.
Yes.
You know what my real mission is? To get YouTube as live as Facebook.
Well, we were huge on Facebook yesterday.
Woo!
Yes, let's see if we can do that again.
Yeah.
Anna K. Moxham, how are you? Wendy Brown, Nikisha Jacobs, you can't fool me anymore. Lynn Brown, also. Dionne Watson. Lava Daly saying hello.
Is that in the same family as Munchie Daily?
Maybe, I don't know. Princess Dyer, Lloyd Edwards. Who else we have here? I said Wendy Brown already. Mm-hmm. Wendy Brown is like going on a commentary at this moment.
They gotta say hi.
Demba Sow saying hello. Julian says squat up, everybody. And Marjorie Thompson, Dina Jimenez, Cece Mitchell. We haven't seen Cece in a while, have we?
No.
I don't remember mentioning her name. Has she been watching, or I just missed her?
I feel like I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah, Savannah. I'm sorry?
Sorry, I'm also seeing a new person, Mary Grace Viernes.
Oh, well, hello, Mary. And Savannah Savvy Harris.
Oh,
saying yay.
Yay. That's
yay.
right.
Squat
I like
up,
it.
Savannah. And Cordella Douglas and Ashburn Liebird. And he's a complaint.
Already?
He's complaining.
Oh, come on. Not already. We just started, man.
Yeah, complaining.
What is he complaining about? Anything worthy?
Something about trying to get through on the phones. I don't know. I don't have time to read it at this moment.
No.
But he's complaining.
This isn't the right forum for
complaints.
For a complaint.
All right.
Particularly not about our show.
Right. This is a positive show.
Right.
Ashburn Liebird. So if you have a problem calling, why don't you just send me a DM and we'll have somebody call you back.
Exactly.
Okay. And on YouTube, Royalty saying, hey.
Hey.
Cordella Douglas double fisting.
Love
Island
it.
Girl, Ja Love, Tracy Lacey, Donald Horton, Princess Martin Uniqueness, how are you? 29 Super C says, saying good evening just to Tracy Lacey. Maybe they know each other.
I feel like some Bradshaw Live romances are happening because I've noticed that...
You think 29 Super C is a romance with Tracy Lacey?
I don't know, because Donald Houghton and Tally Tally are talking quite a bit back and forth as of late. So I'm just saying.
Safi Darbo and Ann Bless, how are you? Miriam's Diary saying hello. And Chukka Daniel Ulachuku.
That's right.
Yes.
Welcome,
and he has a question. We'll get back to you in a little bit. Sam K says, Brad, do you take questions over here on the comments? And we certainly do.
Ooh.
And we answer them in something we call social media check-in, which we're going to do in about an hour.
Yep.
And we also answer them in something we call speed round, which we're going to do in about an hour and 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Exactly.
Rita Nembat. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Rita Namutebi Suwin
Nice.
Combo says, squad up, everybody. Obviously, she has been watching a while, but I've not seen her before, but she knows to say squad up. And by the way, 29 Super C says, LOL, nope. She is not, or he or she, we don't know who, is not in any relationship with Tally.
No, that was
Tracy Lacey.
Tracy Lacey.
With Tracy Lacey.
But you not even try to slide up in the DM, Super C? Come on.
Yeah.
We always said we would pay for a BSL wedding.
They're just getting acquainted.
Okay.
Just
okay.
getting acquainted. It's a get to know you. They're in the get to know you stage.
Is the promise that you made long ago that we will pay for someone's wedding if they meet through us still a thing? Like if two of our super fans...
We'll see how business is going that week.
And how big they want the wedding.
That's right. All right, Belgium Camp, why don't you let everybody know what we need to do to share this thing so we can get our numbers up as big as we had them yesterday.
Absolutely. The very first thing you need to do is become an official member of the Brad Squad. That's when me and Brad know your name so well that we tease you on air just like we did. So those people join the Bradshaw Live Brad Squad on Facebook. Just follow the link right in the comments right now, and those are the only people who are getting their questions, who are getting guaranteed answers to their questions, because the first 5 questions we get in that group every single morning will be the only first 5 guaranteed questions we ask at the very top of social media check-in. Also, no matter where you're watching, please make sure that you've liked, followed, or subscribed. On Facebook, you hit that like or follow button with that little bell, and on YouTube, you hit the red subscribe button and that little bell as well. That little bell is going to allow you to get a notification every time we go live. Also, make sure that you're sharing the show. It's the most wonderful thing you can do for us. Let me tell you, Facebook showed up and out yesterday on the sharing because our views were crazy. I want to see it again today, family. Do the exact same thing times 2.
Whatever you did yesterday.
Keep doing it.
Put on the same clothes.
Yep.
Sit in the same position.
Yep. Drink the same drink.
Exactly. Don't do anything different.
Not one thing different, fam. Also, make sure that the way that you do that is you hit share. You can either start a watch party, which will send a notification out to all of your friends. So if you've got like 100,000 friends, start a watch party for us right now. Also, if you just want to have a little personal touch, because people like that, make sure to send it as a private message. That way people will see your adorable face pop up on their phone and be able to click on the link right now to get their immigration questions answered. And of course, last but certainly not least, tell us all of your thoughts and feelings, please. And more importantly, ask your immigration questions in the comments right this second, because we ask them first come, first serve, and you never quite know when we're gonna have that cutoff. So make sure that you get your question into either social media check-in or the speed round by asking it right now. And now is the time we've all been waiting for. I've been waiting for it. It's my favorite. It's Schmoozing with Brad.
Belgium, Kim.
Yeah.
I've been given 163 news stories today.
I'll have you know it was pared down from 216.
I have in my hand the top 163 news stories. Everything you need to know from 163 to 1.
Okay.
But I'm going to do it in the opposite order.
Got
From
it.
1 to 163.
Got it.
I hope everybody's listening.
I'm ready.
The Supreme Court
Yes.
backed a new Trump asylum restriction.
Yes.
Trump had made a new executive order, because this is what he likes to do. He likes to bypass Congress.
Right.
And he says, you know what? If you walked into another country before applying for asylum in the United States of America, you can't. You
Right.
should have applied for asylum in that country. So, for example, if you're trying to escape El Salvador and you have to walk into Nicaragua or Guatemala and then make it to Mexico, and then make it to the United States to apply for asylum, you can't anymore. You should have applied in Nicaragua or Guatemala or whatever country you first stepped into.
Which is crazy.
If you're a Syrian and you make it out of Syria somehow into another country, you're not going to fly straight from Syria to the United States of America, that's for sure. There is no flights.
Right.
Okay? Then you got to apply for asylum in that country. You are
Wow.
automatically barred from applying for asylum in the United States of America, which goes against everything that the United States of America stands for, and also goes against what is 150 years of asylum law. So there was a lawsuit to block President Trump from doing this.
Right.
The lower courts agreed to block him from doing this.
Right.
It went all the way up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, no, it's okay. He can do this. Now, ultimately, the case hasn't been fully resolved. This is just a preliminary injunction. But if this is how the Supreme Court is ruling on the preliminary injunction, my guess is this is how they will also rule on the main case as well.
Yep.
It's actually the second Trump victory in the Supreme Court for this summer.
Yeah.
If you remember, there was a big fight over the Supreme Court nomination of Kavanaugh because he was basically put the balance of power towards the Republicans.
Right.
And in July, the court allowed the Trump administration, to begin using $2.5 billion in money that was funded for the Army to divert that money to build a barrier along the Mexican border. It is no longer the Mexican government paying for this border wall. It is the U.S. military. Now, Justice Sonia Sotomayor, joined by Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, dissented.
Good for them. Unsurprising.
Saying that the court's actions will upend long-standing practices regarding refugees who seek shelter from persecution, which is basically what I just said.
Right.
Now, Kenneth Cuccinelli, the acting director of the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, again acting because none of these people have ever been confirmed.
Right.
If you hear our schmooze every day, it's always the acting commissioner, the acting cabinet member, the acting this, the acting that.
Right.
Because they are never confirmed.
Right.
Ever.
The revolving door is too fast.
Says that they're going to commence implementing this asylum rule ASAP. And the reason is because he is a very, very evil man.
Of course.
Meanwhile, Trump said, despite the fact that there are thousands of people still missing in the Bahamas, devastation,
Right.
tens and tens of thousands of people with absolutely nowhere to live.
Right.
He will give absolutely no temporary protected status to any
my
Bahamian
God.
who tries to enter the United States. Now, in past devastations, past natural disasters, whether it was the Haiti, Nicaragua, volcanoes on Montserrat. I mean, you can go on and on and on. Always, a president always gave temporary protected status to the people living here because they have nowhere to go back to.
Right, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
Right.
It's not even, and the temporary protected status, by the way, was always given. It's not for people who are now coming to the United States of America. Temporary protected status was always given the day of this disaster. Anybody from that particular country, we're not going to send back there because there's nothing to go back to. The country's devastated.
Right.
We're going to bring everyone from that country into America and allow them to live here.
Right.
But he's not even allowing Bahamians who are here on temporary visas, visiting, whatever it may be, when Dorian hit, to say, you know what, you can stay here. No, go back to your home.
Right.
Oh, by the way, there is no home, but too bad.
There's
That's basically
nothing,
what it is.
You look at all that footage and you see it is leveled. This guy has no roof on his house.
And from just word of mouth, what I'm hearing from my clients who are from the Bahamas, is that when you are coming in, generally on visitors' visas, the United States gives 6 months. But I've heard through word of mouth from people who I've met who have gone through, the airport in the last week or so.
Yeah.
They're getting 2-3 weeks to stay here and then go home.
So not only are they not giving them protected status, they're making the visitors' visas shorter to ensure people do not stay.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. Meanwhile, for those people, by the way, for the asylum, the only country now, the only way you can now apply for asylum in the United States of America from another country, other than refugee status, which Trump says is going to now be zero, is you either have to be a Canadian, and apply for asylum.
Right.
Mexican.
Right.
Because Mexico, you don't have to go through another country.
Right.
Or you have to be able to get on an airplane with a visa. Because
Right.
what airplane's going to let you on without a visa?
Right.
To apply for asylum at the airport. So those people without visas,
Right.
those people who do not live in Mexico or Canada, can't apply for asylum. It's basically barring almost everybody from applying for asylum.
Now,
I didn't even think about that until I got to the Bahamas, but I'm like, yeah.
Now, I'm wondering, we may be getting very logistical, but what about people from island nations or ocean bordering? Like, does the western part of Europe count? Because they would be able...
I mean, if you go on a boat, let's say, from Jamaica to Florida, yes, you could apply for asylum because you didn't
go through anything else, right?
You're in international water. But I mean, how many people are going to get on a boat from Jamaica and make it with past the Coast Guard?
Right, that's a hell of a loophole.
The Coast Guard's going to turn you around.
Of course.
Okay. You really need to have a visa and go from your country to the airport and apply for asylum. And how many people have that? Who are in desperate need.
Right. Who are claiming
violence.
Claiming asylum, right.
Yes.
Wow.
Meanwhile, for those who do make it,
yes,
you get into ICE custody. According to the U.S. government, according to BuzzFeed News, my apologies.
Yep.
BuzzFeed News is reporting that an 8th man has now died in custody in ICE. He was a 37-year-old Mexican man. He was in custody in ICE detention in Illinois since September 3rd. He died Tuesday. The death is the 8th in this year alone. Now, ICE has been funded to detain an average of just over 42,000 people, but is expecting to reach a daily population of over 50,000 people. And I just have to say, generally speaking, 37-year-old men, I don't know about this man's health, but 37-year-old men generally just don't die.
Right.
Okay? That's too young to just die like that.
Right.
It's not like he was like brought in at old age and like, oh yeah, he was frail.
Right.
So he's right in the thick of his life. You don't generally die. Something happens.
Of course something. This is
we don't know what.
Heartbreak. And of course there's no transparency within.
We don't know.
It was an anonymous source who even reported the man died.
Yeah. Now I had a client I remember about 2 years ago who had cancer, and he was in his 30s. And and ICE was not giving him cancer treatments. And finally, when he was so deathly ill, you know what they do?
What?
They literally opened the door to the ICE detention facility. True story. Opened the door to the ICE detention facility, told him to walk out, so he would die on the street instead of in the ICE detention facility. His family picked him up, brought him to a hospital, got in touch with me. Unfortunately, he did pass away.
Wow.
But he had a hell of a lawsuit, his estate at least. But that's what they do. They literally, they almost kill you.
Right.
And then they let you out, just like this Mexican man, because they're going to say he didn't die in ICE custody, he died in the hospital. Right. Okay? They almost kill you, but then they let you out so you die on the street or die in a hospital, so they could say, oh, didn't die in ICE detention.
But wait,
that's what they do all the time. Because I was just reading the card.
Yeah.
Yes, he died in the hospital. So they on their statistics, wasn't us. Wasn't us.
You think of what the count must actually be of people, because the only reason you knew about that case is because that guy not only had family who could come pick him up, but on top of that, were smart enough to call you.
That's right, because the family watched my show.
Right. How many hundreds of people have either no family in this country because they're asylees, or don't know to call a lawyer to actually help them?
Which is why we tell everybody to please share this.
Please, absolutely.
All right. Meanwhile, Rudy Giuliani has gone to the Ukraine to try to influence the presidential election coming up. Apparently, Rudy Giuliani believes that Ukraine has some dirt on Joe Biden's son.
Right.
Now, Joe Biden's son apparently, what did he do? He had some sort of payoff.
Right, he had accepted bribes.
To do business in the Ukraine while Joe Biden was vice president.
That's the conspiracy theory.
That's the conspiracy theory. Now, nobody has ever come up with any evidence of this, but Donald Trump sent Rudy Giuliani to the Ukraine.
Right.
And what he said was this: if you want our government assistance, if you don't want us to withhold $250 million in government assistance to help Ukraine in money that was allocated by Congress to Ukraine for Ukraine's benefit.
Right.
Just like the United States gives money to lots of countries.
Right.
Donald Trump says, I'm not going to give you this money unless you give me the dirt on Joe Biden. Giuliani said last month that the State Department had helped with his bid to pressure the Ukraine government to investigate the former vice president. The Trump administration has reportedly threatened to withhold more than $250 million. Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity are right now being assaulted by Russia.
Right.
And Trump is playing politics with this $250 million.
Exactly.
Now Congress is investigating this, and it began with a letter demanding documents from the White House, and it's being led by a Committee of Foreign Affairs Oversight and Reform and Select Committee. The panel's chairman wrote, if the president is trying to pressure Ukraine into choosing between defending itself from Russian aggression without U.S. assistance or leveraging its judicial system to serve the ends of the Trump campaign, this would represent a staggering abuse of power, a boon to Moscow, and a betrayal of the public trust. Now, Giuliani defends himself and Donald Trump. He says in a tweet, explain to me why Biden shouldn't be investigated if his son got millions of dollars from a Russian-loving, crooked Ukrainian oligarch while he was vice president and point man for Ukraine. Ukrainians are now investigating and your fellow Democrats are interfering. Election is 17 months away. Let's answer it now. Now, Biden's campaign spokesman also had something to say. He said Trump is abusing the office of the presidency and jeopardizing national security aid to a key ally in order to pressure them to prop up a comprehensively discredited conspiracy theory that the Washington Post editorial board has labeled bogus on its face.
Wow.
Now, if in fact, this is true, then yes, we should know about it.
Right.
But certainly we shouldn't be pressuring Ukraine to come up with facts to support this theory.
Right.
Because you're bribing them. You say, I'm not giving you $250 million unless you give us some facts.
Yep.
That's basically it. Give us some facts against Biden. Give us some dirt.
Yeah. Alternative facts.
And they'll manufacture it.
Yeah, of course.
They're very capable of manufacturing it.
Well, because wouldn't you manufacture some facts for $250 million? I've got some major facts I can manufacture for $250.
You know what? If I'm the president of Ukraine, I'd manufacture it for $100 million.
Oh man, Hunter Biden was here for 18 months. Everyone saw him.
Right. What do you want to know? Right.
Yeah.
We'll take out the Sharpie.
I can show you on Google Maps.
I can take out the Sharpie. We'll give you some letters he wrote.
Right.
Hunter Biden, look, I just wrote this letter, right?
Dear Dad, I just took tons of bribe money. Thanks.
Can you imagine if it was in a Sharpie?
That's exactly what it's going to be. And I hope to God the Ukrainian president
that's the problem
like
going on here with Donald Trump. I mean, he is crooked.
Sharpie gay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we had Dr.
Mona Hanna-Attisha.
Yes. And this is so disgusting that this happens in the United States of America about the water in Flint, Michigan, and it really disgusts us here. Disgusts us.
It does.
Here at Bradshaw Live. And now researchers, and now for those who don't remember, the doctor, she discovered that the Flint water was being basically poisoned.
Right.
And the Flint government, Michigan government, was saying, no, there's nothing wrong with the water.
Right.
Had children, adults drinking the water from the tap. Kids were getting sick, lead poisoning and everything else. Now it turns out, according to researchers at Emory University, that not only was the lead high, that kids were getting sick from lead, but there was also a 5-fold increase in deaths officially blamed on Legionnaire's disease. Yeah. There was a documentary on PBS Frontline that aired Tuesday night. It revealed the research of an independent Atlanta-based epidemiologist that suggested for the first time that Flint's Legionnaire's outbreak was even deadlier than health officials even said. The documentary revealed that although the official death toll from Legionnaire's disease was only 12, 20 of 79 people were actually sickened by Legionnaire's disease, actually died. So there was 79 people who actually got Legionnaire's disease. They believe it was from dirty water. 20 of them died. A Wayne State University study found that the spike in Legionnaire's, former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder's administration wouldn't allow the state-funded research project to investigate whether a known spike in pneumonia deaths in 2014, 2015 were undiagnosed cases of Legionnaire's disease. They don't know for sure that it is,
Wow.
but they suspect it was.
So the governor didn't even let them investigate?
No,
That's
no.
crazy, the cover-up.
Because he knew what it was. He knew what it was.
The cover-up in the Flint water crisis is so deep, it is terrifying.
And it's happening in Newark also.
Absolutely.
And by the way, what we learned from Dr. Mona Atif was that it cost, I think, what was it, like 79 cents a day or something for them to clean the water?
Right, yeah.
Per person?
It's didn't she say something? It
Like
was actually cheaper for them to treat it.
Than to treat everybody who got sick.
Right, 100%.
Yeah. And Dr. Sean McElmurray, an engineering professor at Wayne State, said, I remember at one point my colleague telling me that if he didn't do that, people could die. Unfortunately, Nick Lyon's response was that they'll have to die or something. I'm not sure what that reference is, but I was told to read. It doesn't matter. We got to move on. The Trump administration finalizes a rollback of clean water protections.
Yes.
Today, the Trump administration is expected to complete the legal repeal of a major Obama-era clean water regulation, which had placed limits on polluting chemicals that could be used near streams, wetlands, and water bodies. Now, why he's doing this is because, you know, I got to put everything in perspective here. Mm-hmm. He needs farmers to vote for him for 2020.
Right.
Farmers are suffering right now.
Right.
Why are farmers suffering? Because we have a trade war with China.
Right.
China's not buying American agricultural products.
Right.
Farmers say we need help. We need to be able to make money. We need to be more profitable. So he's rolling back clean water regulations to allow farmers to use pesticides and other chemicals which are cheaper to use with any farmland that is near water and irrigation. What's that going to do, all these pesticides? It's going to pollute the water we're drinking.
Of course it is.
So maybe the farmer will make a couple more dollars, but it's going to cost Americans hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in medical bills, and people are going to die.
Right. See, again, Legionnaire's disease in Flint, Michigan right now.
Exactly. The one nice thing that Trump is doing.
Yes. Oh my God, that's not a sentence one can utter.
Is that he's moving to ban flavored e-cigarettes.
Yes.
Yes. The Health and Human Service Secretary Alex Azar, seated in the Oval Office with the President, First Lady Melania Trump, and the acting commissioner of the FDA, announced that newly proposed enforcement policy would require flavored e-cigarette companies to take their products off the market. Not even put a warning label, but off the market.
Love this.
It'll take several weeks for us to put out the final guidance that will announce all the parameters around the enforcement policy, and then there will likely be about a 30-day delay to an effective date, as is customary. At that point, all flavored e-cigarettes other than tobacco flavor would have to be removed from the market.
Yes.
Now, more than 6 people in the United States have died from lung diseases related to vaping, according to a Kansas health official on Tuesday. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the FDA and state health departments have been investigating this outbreak. They believe it is all from these flavored e-cigarettes and vaping. I even read an article today that they had a picture of one kid who was in the hospital. He was 17, 18 years old, and the doctors were describing his lungs were the equivalent of a 70-year-old man.
I heard about that, yeah.
Yes. As of Friday, there have been more than 450 possible cases of lung illness associated with using e-cigarettes. The number changes frequently. I just know from my kids in high school, they don't do it, I hope, but there are a lot of children who are.
This is absolutely
There are a lot of
thing.
children who are, and they're making it out that it's safe, and it's not.
I'm honestly really happy that this is happening because I think that the flavored ones are so targeted for kids. But I heard someone ask a really intriguing question, which was, vaping's been a thing for over a decade. Why are we just hearing that 6 people are dying this summer? Is it that they just didn't know that these lung-related illnesses were because of vaping? Is it they knew? Is it a Flint thing where they knew and they didn't say anything? Why now?
I think it gets. I think when something gets more involved in America, people start investigating it more, and it's like social media, like something going viral.
Right.
You
yeah.
know, like
it takes it a while
why did
sometimes.
this video all of a sudden become viral? People start talking about it. Everybody's vaping, and now people are getting sick, and it starts going viral. Kind of, even the conversation goes viral.
Right.
It's like
in the medical community.
It's like OxyContin.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
We knew for 20 years.
Yeah.
That this stuff is very dangerous. That this stuff is very likely to be abused, is habit forming, and people died from Oxycontin every year.
Right, and you knew that.
And we knew it, and doctors were prescribing it.
Right.
And pharmaceutical companies were making a fortune of money.
Right.
Nobody said anything. Now all of a sudden it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Why?
Now we cry opioid epidemic.
Why?
That's
Why?
a great. It's got to be. Yeah, you're right. It's got to be time.
But
and
it's just timing.
That's
it's
so
just
weird.
timing. Everybody knew Harvey
so
Weinstein was a rapist.
The worst kept secret
in Hollywood. They even made fun of it
Yeah.
at the Academy Awards one year.
Yeah. Don't be in a room alone with him.
Nobody did anything about it. Nobody. Then all of a sudden, someone says, "Hey, wait a second. This is pretty bad." And then another person says, "This is pretty bad." And then it just starts going like wildfire again. But Harvey Weinstein should have been stopped 20 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at Epstein.
I was just about to say, I was not going to take us there. But
Yeah, look at Epstein. Same exact thing.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, Epstein, everybody loved Epstein.
Yeah.
Okay, he was still hanging out with Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew.
After he had beat a rape charge.
Right, and now all of a sudden he's a horrible man, right? Why all of a sudden did he become horrible? How come no one realized he was horrible before?
Because Bill Clinton just found out about the blue dress painting he had in his house.
Did you see about that Alaskan swimmer? The girl?
Yes, I am outraged.
She won a high school swim meet. And all the high school students all have to wear the same exact bathing suit. Except this girl, her tushy's a little rounder.
Right.
She's a little curvier. So when she swims, everybody's wearing the same swimsuit. But when she swims, it goes closer up, rides up into her, I guess, crack, I guess.
Right.
I don't know how else you describe it.
It rides up your butt a little bit.
And a referee disqualified her from winning the swim meet because she said that she was wearing something that was too skimpy. But this is the school-sponsored uniform.
That's insane.
So the referee explained that because the girl's name was Brecklyn Willis, that because Brecklyn Willis's swimsuit exposed her backside, she was not entitled to win the race regardless of how well she swam. Now, the move immediately sparked backlash. School officials said in a statement that she went to Diamond High School. The school said she was targeted based solely on how a standard school-issued uniform happened to fit the shape of her body.
Yep.
We cannot tolerate discrimination of any kind, and certainly not based on body shape. This disqualification was heavy-handed and unnecessary. But we did have a happy ending.
Good. I'm glad, yes.
It didn't even take a day.
Not even a day.
1 hour later, the Alaska School Activities Association announced that it agreed with the district, concluding that the rules require a coach to be notified of a violation before the race begins, and therefore Brecklyn Willis was given the win. I don't know if there's an award or whatever, or a certificate.
Yeah, she got a little medal, I think.
Medal.
Yeah,
she got her medal. Lifelong swimmer Lauren Langford, director of the YMCA Aquatics and coach for the high school, said, "All of these girls are all wearing swimsuits that are cut the same way, and the only girl who gets disqualified is a mixed race girl with rounder, curvier features."
She's absolutely right.
Yeah, the district also called for the referee identified as Jill Blackstone to be stripped of her credentials due to what they described as a pattern of unfair treatment.
Yeah.
The Alaska Athletic Association, I guess, what is the name of it? The Alaska School Activities Association declined to make a determination on whether the official wrongfully targeted Willis. However, Megan Kowich, the teenager's mother, told reporters on Monday that the referee who made the call had previously embarrassed one of her other daughters by critiquing the fit of her swimsuit as well.
That's insane.
Yes, so she says it wasn't the first time this girl had been made to feel that her curvy figure was problematic. Last year, a parent took a photo of her backside and shared it with other parents to demonstrate that girls on the team were wearing inappropriate swimwear.
What is wrong with these people sexualizing these little girls? They're still girls. They're younger than 18. They're still girls. What is wrong with you? Let her swim.
What about the high school? You know, if they see that there's a problem, why don't we get different bathing suits?
Yeah,
because obviously this problem's been going on for a while.
And to be clear, the bathing suits that they use, the reason they use them is that they made swimmers more hydrodynamic. So they've gotten slightly skimpier because it makes them better swimmers. Let them swim. This is driving me crazy. I was very passionate about this one, Brad.
All right. Well, tomorrow is Friday the 13th, Belgium, Kim.
Yes.
It's Friday the 13th.
Are you doing something spooky?
I will be on an airplane.
That's kind of spooky.
But there is also something that's going on this Friday the 13th. It hasn't happened in 19 years. There's going to be a rare full moon.
Ooh.
And we all know what happened on the last Friday the 13th when there was a rare full moon.
We do?
Yes, werewolves. Werewolves.
That was a thing.
It was a thing 19 years ago. There were werewolves everywhere. Stay inside and lock your door tomorrow night. There is a full moon. It is Friday the 13th. And that only means one thing. Werewolves.
You guys all remember where you
Yes,
were the last time
the werewolves came, right? I remember.
I remember.
I was locked in my room.
Yeah.
I locked the front door of my house.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I locked the door to my room.
Yeah.
I hid under my bed.
Yeah.
I heard the werewolf circling my house.
Ooh, couldn't get in
I
though.
couldn't get in.
That's right.
And then in the morning, everything was fine.
Be like Brad Bernstein.
That's right. Watch out for the werewolves. The last time I remember, it was October 13th, 2000. Exactly. I remember. I said, "Oh my God, it's werewolf night."
Yeah, I was too young to remember it then.
No, you don't.
Maybe that's why my parents put me to bed early that day.
It doesn't matter if you're in the country or the city. The werewolves are everywhere.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Yeah.
Do you think I'm safe on the 3rd floor this
No,
weekend, Brad?
lock your door. Lock your door. September's full moon, also called the harvest moon, is the full moon nearest to the autumnal,
yeah.
the autumn equinox.
There it is.
On September 23rd. Why do you have to give me a complicated word
I'm sorry, more than 3 syllables.
Yes.
That was my bad.
Yes. What makes this full moon more special than others is that the farmers at the peak of the current harvest season can now work late into the night. But if you're going to work late in the night, watch out for the werewolves.
The werewolves.
The next full moon is going to be on October 13th, but it will not be a Friday. So we don't have to worry about the werewolves.
Thank God.
Yes.
Whew.
Meanwhile, New York Fashion Week ended last night.
Yeah.
And for the spring 2020 presentations, designers have ditched the traditional purses and shoes for some more creative accessories.
Yeah.
The creative force behind Kate Spade presented a city safari show in Nolita's Elizabeth Street Gardens as models carted, cradled, and cupped plants both in and out of the pot down the runway. Breast pumps were chic at Rebecca Minkoff, where one model cradled her breastfeeding baby throughout the casual workwear presentation. On the runway at Area, models rocked crystal beards as they strutted down the runway, and at Colina Strata, models walked down with babies in hand while others wheeled the typical New York baby carriage.
This is so crazy to me. Like, I find some of these looks to be very fierce. This I don't get though. Like, this woman is in a silk dress with a cart.
This is not ready to wear. Meaning, ready to wear means that, you know, this is what you would find
like what you would
what you would find on the store shelves.
Right.
These are one of a kind creations that are made to inspire, make people think. And be as creative as possible. But this is not what you go to Bloomingdale's or Barney's or whatever, any of these fancy stores. There I am.
Yeah.
At a fashion week, all right? That was, I was just wearing a shirt. I have no idea what this donut guy was next to me. But it's just like one of a kind. But it's not your ready to wear what you'd find on the shelf.
I guess I just don't understand how like a ginormous.
They're more costumes. They're more costumes than anything.
But how does a ginormous plant elevate your costume? You're holding a ginormous potted plant, girl. You just look way down. Set that down before you walk down the runway.
All right, and what else we got here? Oh, Mike the Situation.
Yes.
He is going to be out of jail on today.
He's out. Look at him. He's free.
He is a free man, Mike the Situation.
Everybody breathe a sigh of relief.
Thank God we could get entertained again. We haven't had entertainment in 8 months since this guy's been in jail.
No, I've been so bored.
Yeah, on Thursday, I have been bored. I'm like, where's this Mike the Situation, you know? On Thursday, the Jersey Shore star was released from the Otisville Federal Correctional Institution in Otisville, New York, after completing an 8-month sentence for tax evasion. Sorrentino and his wife, Lauren, said in a statement, "We look forward to continuing our life as husband and wife and working on baby situations. We truly believe that the comeback is always greater than the setback, and we can't wait to show the world." Now, Sorrentino and his brother Mark were indicted in 2014 for tax offenses and conspiring to defraud the United States for failing to properly pay taxes on $8.9 million in income.
Woo! He looks like he was.
He did need Carmela. He
Yeah.
could have used Carmela.
Yeah, he could have.
Now, what is this? Pierce Bronson endorses a female Bond, and he's saying, get out of the way, guys. I
Yeah.
think there should be a female James Bond.
Listen, there's rumors already that it's happening.
I think there should be. I think it would be a much cooler, cooler experience.
That would be so much fun.
Right, and there should also be a black James Bond.
Well, check out the chick that they have.
Okay, there should be a black James Bond, too. Pierce Brosnan saved the world 4 times as James Bond.
Right.
He wasn't okay. He wasn't the best James Bond.
Oh, I love him.
But now the actress says it's time to pass the legendary role on to a woman. Lashana Lynch
Yes, and can we?
is rumored to take over.
Look at her.
Oh, she is a black woman.
She's a black woman.
I didn't even
Yes,
know that.
queen.
I was just saying that off the top
I
of
know.
my
I
head.
figured. I was like,
Yeah, I had
just
no
you wait
idea.
till you see this
Okay.
queen.
Now she is scheduled to take over from Daniel Craig in the upcoming No Time to Die. Brosnan said, "I think we've watched the guys do it for 40 years. Get out of the way, guys, and put a woman up there. I think it would be exhilarating. It would be very, very exciting."
Did you see Captain Marvel? Have you seen that movie?
No, I have not.
So Lashana Lynch is in Captain Marvel, and she is like one of the breakout stars of that movie. She is so good. She would be a kick-ass Bond.
I gotta take a better look at her. Is she like a really fit, beautiful woman?
Yeah,
it's hard to see from these pictures.
She's like very social justice minded, which is
Right.
fantastic. She's got a lot of. She works with charities. She's just like a badass woman. And in Captain Marvel, she plays a fighter pilot. So she's just like got that edge.
So I wonder now if James Bond, like when she's gonna walk into the casino,
Yeah.
she's gonna like find some hunk and sleep with him.
Yes.
Is that what's gonna happen?
That's what. Let's objectify all the men.
Is that what's gonna happen? I think Dr. Yo-Yo is gonna be trying out for that role.
Listen.
Do you think Dr. Yo-Yo would try out for that role?
I think that he's already. He says he's in Ethiopia, but that's actually he's trying out to be the new Bond man.
All right, Belgium Kim, let's get ready to answer some immigration questions. Please tell everybody what they need to do to share this so we can get as many people help as we can.
Okay, you guys, I know you are anxious to hear those answers, so I'm going to do this quick. The first thing we need you guys to do, it's the most important. If you do nothing else, you have to do this right now for us, family. Share the show. Hit share if you're watching on Facebook and start a watch party that will send a notification out to all of your friends and create your own comment box. Or you can send it as a private message. Share it in groups that you're members of. Share the link however you want to. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, just hit copy link and paste it as a WhatsApp, as a GroupMe, as a text. However you want to send it to your people, let them know that immigration answers are happening right now. Also, join the Brad Show Live Brad Squad, the official Facebook group. We're gonna drop the comments in. We're gonna drop the link in right now in the comments. Hit that and I will be on standby, ready to accept you into the family. And finally, last but not least, make sure that you've liked and subscribed to Facebook and YouTube and hit that little bell because that's the only way that you're gonna get notifications every time we go live. And don't forget, we are still taking your social media questions in the comments, so make sure to drop those right now because we will ask them first come, first serve. But the first people who get priority treatment around here are the people who've been on the lines waiting for hours. Here we go. We're getting answers to your immigration questions.
All right, we got David in Illinois, Chicago. David, how are you? David?
Yeah, I'm good. And you?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller. I watch your show every day. I love it. It's very, very interesting and very educative.
Thank you.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yes.
I'm a 10 years green card holder, and my wife is threatening to divorce me. Actually, I think right now she probably will go for divorce. Is there anything I can do, or is it going to affect me in any way?
Well, you have a 10 green card, right?
Yeah, I got a 10 years green card.
When did you get did you get a 2-year card first, or you went straight?
Sorry again, I can't hear you. Hello?
Where's my? Did you? My thing is on. Yeah. Hello, you hear me? Testing. David.
Yeah, I hear you
Now
now.
you hear
Yeah.
me. Okay. What is with this? Let me put this up. It's got to be closer. My mic is fine. My mic is fine. No, I don't. I just got to fix this. There we go. Let's try that now. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, my mic is fine, Jilly. Okay. So, David, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
First, you started, then went to attend.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you anymore.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Mic is fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's on. Why are you telling me it's not on? My mic is good. What? Well, I don't. Dave, talk to. They seem to think my mic is broken. Go talk to Kim. Go talk to Kim.
Hey, David.
Why? Oh, there you go.
Thanks for being the first time to call. Hold on, we're going to get your question answered in just a second as we figure out our wonderful mic technical difficulties right now. What inspired you to call today if you've been watching, David?
Yeah, I can hear you right now.
You can hear us?
Yes.
Hello, David. You hear me now?
Boom.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Now
I can hear you.
All right. You know who came to our rescue? Do you know who came to our rescue?
Coolio. Coolio came to our
Came to the
rescue.
rescue. All right, now we're good. They fixed my mic. You hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, good. All right. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. You got a 2-year green card first, right? You can come back to me now,
I got
Julian.
a 10 years first.
Julian, you can come. Okay, there we go. You got a 10-year. When did you get your 10-year green card?
So a few months ago.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is the issue. Okay. You have a 10-year green card. You're going to want to file for citizenship. Now it's going to be in 5 years from now. When you file for citizenship, they're going to want to know that you're in a bona fide marriage with your spouse. The fact that she's breaking up with you several months after you got your 10-year green card would lead somebody to be suspicious that this is something other than a bona fide loving marriage. So that's your issue. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But that's your only issue that you have. If it's going to be when you go to apply for your citizenship in 5 years from now.
Oh, okay. So for now, I don't have no problem. Even if I try as much as I can.
You can travel right now because
nobody.
nobody's looking at your marriage unless you file for citizenship. When you file for citizenship, you got to be prepared to prove that it's a bona fide marriage, even at the 5-year.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much.
welcome.
I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right. Hopefully, we got that resolved now. Let's go to Rosemarie in Laurel, Maryland. Rosemarie. Rosemarie, how are you?
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
Good day. I'm good.
What's going on?
Yeah. My son in Jamaica. Tuesday he went on his F2B visa interview.
Right.
I filed for him.
Okay.
I filed for him.
Things did not go too well, I guess, because you're calling me.
Hello?
You're telling me you don't hear me also?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, I said things did not go too well because you're calling me. So what happened?
Yeah, it need a 601 waiver because
Why?
he was in trouble with his girlfriend in 2003.
Okay.
And he was arrested and he was
right, so
charged for wounding and destruction of property.
Okay, that is done here in the United States. You file it based on.
No, it's in Jamaica.
Your waiver's done in the United States here, so you need to file it here.
I have to do it here.
Yes. Hold on one second. You're the petitioner. It's the hardship to you, and you've got to do it. And it takes about a year. So let's get it going. Hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Tony in Kissimmee, Florida. Tony.
Yes, I'm good. Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm good. I have a friend who is is a military, and he's filing for his wife back home in Jamaica. Now, this petition was submitted from last year. This year. Yeah. Was submitted this year. February to National Visa Center from NCIS. USCIS.
Why don't you put the person on the phone who knows what they're talking about?
Okay.
Okay.
Hello?
All right. Hi. Start again.
Yeah, so I first sent my paperwork to USCIS.
Who's sponsoring you? Who's sponsoring you, or you're sponsoring somebody? I don't understand what's going on.
Okay, so I'm filing for my wife.
You're a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
The I-130 was approved?
Yes.
Okay, now you're at the National Visa Center. So what is your question?
Okay, so I sent in all my paperwork. Basically, all my paperwork has been approved, except they keep sending back.
What? Wait. Stop again. Your I-130 was approved. You're at the National Visa Center.
Yes.
When you say all my paperwork was approved, there's no approval of paperwork at the National Visa Center. So you're already using the wrong words. When your petition gets to the National Visa Center, they send you back a letter for an agent of choice. Did you pick yourself that you're going to be the one dealing with the National Visa Center? You send that back in.
Yeah.
Then they send you back a fee bill. You paid that fee bill? Did you send the fee bill back in?
I paid all that stuff already.
Did you do your affidavit of support? Did you do your affidavit of support?
Yes, I did.
Did you do the biograph? Did you submit the police report for your wife?
The police report, I haven't sent it in yet because they haven't asked us for that yet.
Okay, so what have you done? You just paid the fee bill and that's it?
I paid the fee bill. I sent in, they asked me for my divorce decree because I was married previously. I sent that in both to USCIS and to them again. And they asked for, my birth certificate. They asked for my tax paperwork. I sent all those in.
Did you do an affidavit of support? I don't need a list of everything. What is your question, by the way? Do you have a question?
Yes.
What is the question?
I was trying to find out why they're taking so long.
Because you're doing because you don't know what you're doing. That's why. I could already tell you don't know what you're doing by the way you're even telling me what's going on. It's taking so long because you don't know what you're doing. So you have two choices, okay? You have two choices. You can continue to flummox your way through this, or you can hire an attorney. You just don't know what you're doing. That's why it's taking so long, and also Donald Trump, okay? But because you're supposed to, after you pay the fee bills, you get back, you submit your affidavit of support with your 3 years tax returns. You're submitting everything in piecemeal instead of in one big application package and submitting it. And then you're calling me up on my show and saying everything was approved, everything wasn't. Yes, your petition was approved, but you're submitting everything in piecemeal. They asked me for this, so I submit it. Then they asked me for this, so I submit it. You don't know what you're doing, that's why. You submit everything one time, that's what makes everything go fast.
Well, I submitted everything they asked for, that's what I'm saying. But then they sent back and saying that that one of my paperwork needed to be turned horizontally. So I turned it horizontally and sent it back to them. And they sent back again saying I need to turn the same paperwork horizontally.
Are you listening to the words that are coming out of your mouth? I'm like Chris Tucker now, because I just said you don't know what you're doing, and they keep saying, "Well, you're sending in the paper horizontally," and all you just did was confirm what I just told you. You don't know what you're doing. You don't even know how to submit the papers properly. You're just doing it wrong. So hold on, I can help you, but that's what the problem is. You know, when people try to do things on their own, why is it taking so long? Because you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
But I just submitted it, and they told me I didn't submit it properly.
Right.
They told me that they returned it. They said it was horizontal. It should have been vertical. Well, then you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
But then I did it again, and they told me it was wrong again. But I seem to be doing it right. No, you don't seem to be doing it right.
Or at least a lawyer can always help you figure out
Am I right or wrong?
Actually going wrong. 100% right, Brad.
I don't know what he's doing wrong, but I can tell you he's doing it wrong.
He's doing it all wrong.
All right. And when you're dealing with the National Visa Center, after you submit your fee bills, you get the affidavits of support, and you do the DS-230. You submit everything in one huge package properly, not in piecemeal. Because I don't know, because I'm not there reading what they're sending back and forth.
Right.
But I do know that when I hear things are being sent in piecemeal, you're not doing it right.
Not at all.
All right. Let's go to Jack in Portland, Oregon. Jack. Jack. Jack.
Hello?
Hi, Jack.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yep, I hear you. What's
Hello?
going on?
Yeah, thank you. So my American wife has been physically and mentally abusing me, and I'm thinking about filing the 360. Now, I haven't even gotten my work permit yet. I'm still waiting for it. So can I file it now and wait for the work permit, or is it going to jeopardize everything?
No. You have a pending adjustment. You can file an I-360. You have to hope that VAWA is extended, which I'm sure it will be, but we don't know for sure yet. We won't know till the end of the month. But yes, file your I-360 now before VAWA expires on the 30th. When you get your adjustment interview on the current marriage case, you're going to go on that interview and hopefully you'll have a receipt on the VAWA case and you'll bring it in and say, I want to change it over. But it's not going to slow down your work permit right now.
So I can still wait for my work permit?
Yes.
It will not jeopardize it?
No.
Hello? I can't hear you, sorry.
No.
No, what? I mean...
I just gave you the answer. I will say it again. I just gave you the answer. I'll say it again. You can file a VAWA. You should do it right now. It will not prevent you from getting a work permit based on your current adjustment application. When you get your appointment for your green card based on your current adjustment application, which is based on a bona fide marriage, you will go in with a receipt notice for the I-360 and then switch it up and tell the officer, I'm applying for VAWA. You don't need to file a new adjustment. You can keep your current adjustment going and get the work permit based on the current adjustment. But you need to file the I-360 immediately because the VAWA program is ending in 15 days and we don't know if it'll be extended or not. So at least give yourself a chance to get it filed before it expires.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Let's go to Sharik in Queens. Let's not ever wear this shirt on this show again. Sharik, how are you?
Okay, hi. Good, how are you? So I have a real quick question, so I don't want to be taking too much of your time. So I came here under F1 visa in 2012, and I went to school and I graduated from Michigan State University. So now I came to New York and I applied for asylum after overstaying my F1 visa, and after that, asylum was denied, and then went to 26 Federal Plaza. So I did everything by myself, no lawyers involved in it. So I went to 26 Federal Plaza, and then I got it a final hearing date, individual hearing date, which was February 2018. But before February 2018, I got married to a U.S. citizen, January 2018, beginning of January. I married and I submitted only I-130 to USCIS and went with that receipt, I-130 receipt, to an immigration judge and administratively closed, technically postponed, take off the case from the active docket. And judge told me that come with the results of I-130 so that he can review my I-485, which I didn't submit yet. So, and then after that, I submitted 765 by myself, and I got the work permit months ago. Now, here's the thing. It's been already right now I can check my status, and it says over here, the case has been received at my local office. And then when I submitted the case inquiry, it says that pending and waiting. That's it. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. So now, it's been more than a year and 9 months now, just for I-130 interview from Queens. No updates or nothing else. So, is it normal?
Is it normal? In this day and age, everything is normal. Let me just summarize. I understand what you said to me, but let me just summarize everything for everybody else out there. The man was on a student visa. Well after a year of being here in America, he applied for asylum. So whether he had a claim for asylum or not, we don't know, but he applied more than a year after being here, which is why he's probably denied.
No. I applied after I arrived, after 3 months I applied for asylum.
Fine. All right. So maybe you have an asylum claim, maybe you don't. We don't know. It was denied. After it was denied, he was put into removal proceedings, which is what he's talking about, 26 Federal Plaza. And he renewed his asylum before a judge before he gets deported. The judge put it on for a final hearing for him to prove his asylum. And before that final hearing, he got married. he filed a visa petition to prove it's a bona fide marriage between him and his wife, which hopefully it is. And he went back to the judge and he said, here's my receipt. And the judge says, okay, I'm going to postpone the asylum. Let me know what happened on the marriage case. And now the man's waiting 1 year and 9 months. And the only thing I would suggest to you is, where you're from?
I'm from Russia.
Okay. So it's going to be, you're either going to wait, and I don't know how long you wait. Sometimes it's 2 years, sometimes it's 3 years, or you file a mandamus. And you have nothing to lose by filing a mandamus, because as soon as you file a mandamus, you're going to get a marriage interview in 30 days. They can't do anything to you any more than they've already done, because you're already in removal. So you file a mandamus, you force the government to do what they're supposed to do, which is adjudicate your case within 1 year.
So when it comes to I-485, I did not submit it yet. So I did the research on YouTube. So now my question is my last question. I don't want to take too much of your time.
You're getting your work permit based on your asylum case, not based on a marriage
No,
case.
I got that work permit based on the asylum case.
Right.
That's right, but it came 1 year one. And I know every case is different, but the similar cases, mine, they already got their green card.
So my answer to you is this is not normal times, and you should file a mandamus.
Okay, so after 4 months, it's going to be almost exactly 2 years since I get married.
My answer to you is file a mandamus. You will get an interview in less than 30 days. Other than that, you can sit here and tell me how abnormal and unfair this is, and all your friends and blah 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 blah. And nobody.
How much is it going to cost to file?
Nobody's going. $25 million. You think I know what my fees are? Talking to you for 30 seconds, I have no idea.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Ay.
Hey, Brad, it's a day.
Yes, all right. Jen in Los Angeles, California.
Hi, Brad. Thank you so much. So,
yes.
I have a question. My current EAD card from my asylum application will expire in 2 weeks. So I submitted my marriage case together with a new EAD application on April 22nd this year. And my concern is if I will still be able to continue to work after just the expiration date of my current EAD card. Because I was told about the limited 180-day EAD extension rule does not apply from CO8 category to CO9 category.
Two things.
So I wonder if that's true.
Okay, two things. Number one, I assume you're married to an American citizen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the fact that you're married to an American citizen, whether you work in status or out of status, you work with authorization, you don't work with authorization, it's all forgiven at the interview anyway, for an American citizen. So you have a social security number, keep working. It's not your problem, it's your employer's problem. So that's number one. Number two, you got to withdraw your asylum case, or your adjustment's going to be denied. So make sure you withdraw your asylum case. Your social security number is good. Keep working. Hopefully you'll get your work permit shortly. If your employer asks, that you got a problem. But if your employer doesn't ask, it's not. You're allowed to work married to an American citizen out of status. It doesn't affect you.
Oh, I see. And another thing is we received the RFE on June 24th this year for my marriage case, and we replied, sent our response on June 25th. So the online status only shows that they received it and will start again. Does that also mean that my work authorization is still on pause at this moment?
Well, I lost you. What was the last part?
Sorry, just because they received my RFE response on July 25th. And
okay, so
the
your RFE,
status,
so until you obviously filed your application incorrectly, they asked for an RFE, you corrected it. So the new receipt date is July 25th. So count from that day, not from the day that you filed, but from the date of the receipt of the RFE. That's when your application starts processing.
So online status is still showing that we'll start again soon. Does that mean like my current working authorization is still on pause?
What it means is that nobody looked at your application until you corrected it. And now, hopefully, it'll start processing soon. That's exactly what it means.
Okay, I see. Thank you so much.
So what you have to understand is if you submit an incomplete application, it's as if you never submitted anything. Your application just sits in the mailroom until it's complete. And only when it's complete, at that day, does it start processing.
So I have to just wait for 60 days to call them to see what is going on.
You're going to wait longer than 60 days, but you can call all you want. The person you speak to has no idea what's going on.
Okay, so even I replied the RFE as they requested.
When you reply to the RFE, it's one of these days, Belgium Kim. When you reply to the RFE, that's when your application starts processing, and they're delayed 6 months for a work permit. So you can call them in October, you can call them in November, you can call them in December. You're not getting your work permit till January, February.
Okay, I see. Thank you so much, Brad. Thank you. Thank you.
It's like I repeat myself 7 times.
It is.
It gets frustrating sometimes.
I can understand that, Brad.
I'm only human, Belgium Kim.
And sometimes you gotta feel a little frustrated when people keep asking the same question over and over again. That's
all right, let's go to Toya in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Toya.
Hi.
How are you?
Thanks for taking my call. I'm doing good. My question is that my spouse initially petitioned for me to adjust my status, but that application was denied because he didn't show to the interview based on abuse. Now I have a pending VAWA. I already received my prima facie and I did biometrics.
Right.
I'd like to know what will happen should they decide not to extend the VAWA.
It's a very good question. I don't have an answer for you. I would say that people who filed before October of 2000 and what are we now, 2019, right? Correct. People who filed before October 2018 are in a better position than people who filed after October 2018 because the actual VAWA law ended September 30th, 2018. It's been funded for this year, so they've been accepting applications, but there's no law that says VAWA exists this year. We'll know for sure what will happen at the end of September. And I would even say that people who have approved I-360s are in better position than people who just filed before October but didn't get an approval. And people who filed after October certainly don't have any approval. They're in the worst of the 3 possibilities. If they don't extend it, there's going to be an enormous amount of litigation over what happens. So I don't know. My guess, and I really feel strongly about it, is that it'll be extended. I would be shocked if it's not.
Okay. All right.
So you really just got to hang in there and see what happens.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right,
Have
you're
a
welcome.
great day.
Okay. Let's go to Jessica in Benton, Florida. Jessica.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
First of all, I want to say thank you for the great show.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I have 2 questions I want to ask.
Yes.
First of all, my husband is filing for my daughter, who's a minor. And since February, they sent a letter to say it was transferred to an office that has jurisdiction. Now, my question is, I want to know if she visits for the next holiday, would we be able to adjust her status here in the U.S.? Or would it cause any problems or conflicts?
If she visits with the purpose of visiting and then stays 90 days and then somehow changes her mind and wants to get a green card, then that would be okay.
Oh, and then we'd need to send an affidavit of support for her as well?
Yes, and it would fall under the new rules, but you're going to fall under the new rules either way. But make sure that she visits for the purpose of visiting and then changes her mind 90 days later.
Okay, and another question. If my husband and I, we went to an interview and my case is still in review, would that automatically just stop our case from processing as well?
No, one has nothing to do with the other.
Okay.
All right.
That is my question. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate it. All right, that was very good. Succinct. She had her question. We didn't have to go through an entire story of every form,
right,
and everything that happened.
And then when you gave her her answer, she was like,
"Thank you.
All right, that sounds good."
Right.
Take a page.
Yes, exactly. Keith in Hartford, Connecticut. Keith.
Hello?
Hi, how are you? Keith, are you underwater?
No, I'm not on the water. I'm hardly hearing you.
You're hardly hearing me. Why is everyone hardly hearing me? What's with this? I'm just going to hold this like this. How's that?
You look like a crooner now.
Okay. Now you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you loud and clear now.
Okay, good. What's going on?
I must say, thanks for having a good show, but I have a problem with my son.
What?
He has my wife filed for him. He came here the wrong way, and then he has a petition by his wife from May 15, 2017, but he hasn't done anything.
How old was he? How old was he when he came the wrong way?
He was about 20.
Okay, so he was an adult. He was an adult. Now, there are lots of ways to come the wrong way. Okay, you could literally be a stowaway. You could enter without inspection. You could submit a fake document. You could jump out of a plane with a parachute over Nebraska. Those are the 4 ways. Which way did he do?
He came on a boat.
He came on a boat. Was he a stowaway on a boat?
Yeah.
Okay, and he just came in without inspection.
Right. Yes.
Okay, and you, sir, you have a green card?
Yeah, I'm permanent green card holder.
Okay, how did you get your green card?
My wife filed for me.
Your wife's a citizen?
Yes, yes, yes. He filed for both of us, but he just didn't listen. He just came on his own.
He just came on his own?
He paid the fee for the visa.
Okay.
Petition.
When did your wife file for him?
2003, 2003,
okay.
I think.
All right. Now, he's married to a citizen. Has he ever been arrested for any reason?
Right now, he's arrested for identity.
For identity theft. All right. We just lost him.
Oh, did we?
We were just getting to the heart of it.
We were getting good stuff there.
All right. Call back. Yeah. All right. Let's go to Ramesh in Jacksonville, Florida. Ramesh.
Hello?
Hi.
I can barely hear you.
What the hell is this today? Ramesh, you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Okay, what's going on?
I have a friend who came about 35 years ago on a green card.
Right.
And about 10 or 12 years ago, he substituted himself for a day on a convenience store job and sold to an underage boy a can of beer.
Okay.
And that was about 12 years ago.
Okay.
Does it matter now he's the one to apply for the citizenship?
It depends what he was found guilty of. If he came on a green card 30 years ago and his only conviction was this one time 12 years ago for selling underage child and it was a misdemeanor, it would seem to me that would be a crime of moral turpitude. It's not a deportable offense, and it happened more than 5 years ago. So it sounds like to me, without seeing the disposition and knowing what he pled guilty to, but it sounds like to me that he would be eligible to apply for citizenship.
So it will be processed in a due course of time after submitting maybe in 3 months or 2 months?
Well, I don't know what you mean by due course of time. 2 things. Number 1, you should never submit anything to immigration when you have a criminal record. And just hope that everything is fine. And 2, when you do have a criminal record and you are applying for citizenship, your case will be delayed.
Is the misdemeanor is a criminal offense?
Yes.
So if the judge says you are adjudicated, your thing is adjudicated, something, I can't recall what he said. But,
if the judge says you're adjudicated something, I don't know what it says. I don't know what an answer to give you. So what I would suggest is make an appointment by phone. I'll have a consultation with me. Show me your disposition, and we'll figure it out. Okay, so hold on. Judge says adjudicated something. I don't know what it says. Should I apply for my citizenship?
We were saying this at the
like,
top of the show.
It's like one of these days today.
Yeah. If you don't know what your situation is, Brad can't know
Correct.
what your situation is.
Correct.
You're just saying this, Brad.
Correct. Is this Keith with the... Yes, Keith.
Keith in Connecticut.
Okay, fine. All right. So last we heard from Keith, your son got arrested for a false document. Where is he at this point?
He's in jail in Florida.
Okay. And was he? How did he get caught with a false document? What was he doing?
He was at home. Waiting on an attorney, on a lawyer. He's waiting on a lawyer to get his petition together.
So how did all of a sudden he get arrested?
He was at home and he got arrested.
By immigration?
He hasn't been to an immigration judge before.
Why
he
did
just went to the regular court.
Why did the police just walk into his home?
No, one of his friends said something and then they came looking for him because they know the status of it.
All right, we need to get to the bottom of this. I don't have the answer for you. All right, there's more to the story than the police just don't show up to somebody's home and arrest them. So we need to know a lot more. Hold on one second. I think you're going to need a consultation. We'll figure it out. All right.
Whew. Got this, y'all. With the help of an attorney, I feel so strongly you guys are going to know what's going on with your cases.
The police just showed up. Friend told on him. Told on him for what?
But they're going to know now, Brad.
Yes.
They're going to know what's going on now.
We don't know. Do you think if I have to hold this the entire show?
I truly believe that it has nothing to do with the proximity to your mouth.
But every time it goes,
I think it's because your mic has been way further away from you.
All right.
My mic has been off, and your mic picks me up.
All right.
See what I'm saying?
So I do have to remind everybody, if I didn't answer your question and you're not scared of me after I yelled at everybody who called today. Literally, I've yelled at every last person who called today.
It was a day.
I'm usually a fuzzy warm guy, but
That's
this was a day of some odd calls.
Listen, even it's funny because Mr. Willie VIP just said, I think people call the program today drinking vodka or something strong.
I don't know, yeah. So anyway, if you're not scared of me, I am a warm and fuzzy guy.
Yeah.
You can follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. You can follow my travels all around the world. And if you are part of the Brad Squad, I know who you are because you've come out of the comment closet, then I'll be happy to answer your questions in my DMs as well. You can also follow at Brad Show Live. If you follow at Brad Show Live, you will be talking to Little Caesar. You will not be talking to Real Brad Bernstein.
Right.
And you can follow, all of our highlights from Brad Show Lives in the past, as well as a lot of our produced content as well, and some fun behind-the-scenes stuff as well. And Belgium Kim.
And for me, I'm going to switch it up because I've been doing a terrible job of updating Belgium Kim TV. I don't know if you've noticed that, Brad.
I have.
But
Matter of fact, I haven't seen anything from Belgium Kim TV in a long time.
I'm truly terrible at it because I'm already bad at one Instagram account, so two was more than I could choose. So follow me at Travel Queen Kim, and I'm really sorry for not telling anyone because the lower third's wrong. But follow me at Travel Queen Kim.
So
I'm doing better. I'm doing way better on Travel Queen Kim.
So forget Belgium Kim.
That's what I'm thinking. I've been like.
Or why don't you change Travel Queen Kim to Belgium Kim?
It wouldn't let me change it. That's why I had to create the new one because when it was.
All right, so just follow Travel Queen Kim.
Right, that's kind of how I'm feeling.
And then forget Belgium Kim.
Right? We're gonna, but like she's still here, but when she's out in the real world, she's Travel Queen.
That's right.
There you go.
All right, so many people do not realize that an undocumented person working at a construction site who has been injured on the job site has the same right to compensation as a U.S. citizen. Let me say that again. If you are undocumented, you're working out of status, or you're even working off the books, you're a U.S. citizen. You get injured on a construction site, you have the same rights as somebody who's legal or who is working on the books. Today, I was speaking with Spartan Bernstein personal injury attorney and partner Moshe the Bulldozer Borukh about what to do if you're an undocumented construction worker injured on the job. Let's watch. Every year, 10% of construction workers throughout the United States of America get injured on the job. According to the Census of Fatal Occupational Injuries in 2017 alone, 5,147 construction workers died on the job. When an accident leaves a construction worker incapacitated, they and their families lose the financial security they once had. A good attorney is needed to make sure that the injured parties are compensated to the highest level, because most of the time, they will never be able to work again. and there is one bite of the apple when it comes to fighting for compensation in a courtroom. With me to discuss what to do if you or a loved one is involved in a job or construction accident is Spar & Bernstein's very own personal injury attorney partner, Moshe the Bulldozer Borukh. Moshe, how are you?
Good to be here.
So Moshe, we've talked about in the past how important it is to use your cell phone as part of your case to prepare yourself for your case. God forbid you're in a construction accident. You use your cell phone to call an ambulance so they can document where the accident happened. You use your cell phone to take pictures. Let me ask you a question. There are people out there who may be U.S. citizens or lawful permanent residents who are getting paid cash. They're working off the books. Or people who are undocumented working off the books. How is using a cell phone going to help these people, and why is it even more important for people who are off the books or who are undocumented and are working to use their cell phone, God forbid they're injured in an accident?
So an undocumented person has the exact same rights as a legal citizen here in the United States of America. Although it's more difficult to prove as an undocumented person that you were hired by an employer, for example. And so when you have a video, when you have a phone, which is the most effective weapon you have with you when you get injured in a construction accident, you take out the phone and start videotaping everything around you. If you can, you'll show that you're in the construction site, you're working there, and if something fell, for example, a ladder or a scaffold, you have evidence of that. And so there's no dispute that you were hired by somebody to work.
The biggest defense, one of the biggest defenses, the number one defense for people who don't have a record of being at that construction site because their colleagues drove them to the hospital, or because they were undocumented and didn't have and were not on payroll, or American citizens are not on payroll, is the number one defense is, this person doesn't work for us. What are you talking about? So you need to document that you were hired and you were physically there on this job site at the moment this accident happened. That's what Moshe is saying.
Exactly. One of the first hurdles you have to overcome in a labor law construction accident case is you have to prove that you were hired by somebody or an organization to work at this specific construction site. And if you're getting paid in cash, a lot of people assume that, well, if I'm getting paid cash, then I can't prove that I was hired by somebody. That is incorrect. If you have good lawyers, we can make sure that we can prove that you were hired by somebody. And we do that by using this very simple
let me just make this clear. And Moshe, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're getting paid off the books or you're undocumented, does that make your case any less worthwhile? Should you be scared to walk into a courtroom?
Absolutely not. If you have good lawyers, you'll never have to worry about that. A lot of people lie and they say if you're an undocumented person, you should not make a claim, for example, for workers' compensation benefits. That is the falsest thing I have heard when it comes to a personal injury case in a construction accident.
And now people may say, well, I don't want to get deported. What do you say about that?
If you have our lawyers here at Spar & Bernstein, in addition to the personal injury lawyers here, we have your department, the immigration department, and we will make sure that that never happens.
I can assure you that if you get injured in an accident, you're not going to get deported.
It'll never happen.
I can assure you that. It's not going to happen. Moshe, tell us about a situation if you had somebody who was undocumented or somebody who was a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident working off the books. They didn't have a record of employment. Tell us about how you represented them, and hopefully you have a good success story to tell us about.
Absolutely. We had a case where a person just came to the United States. He was undocumented. He was terrified of making a claim for personal injuries when he was involved in a construction
Where was he from?
He was from Jamaica. And what happened was he was hesitant to come to us because he was afraid that he might get deported. He was afraid that his employer might call ICE or what have you. And so when he came to us, I think I even introduced him to you, and you took care of his immigration matter.
And he got injured on the job?
He did. He got injured on the job. The defendants, when we filed a lawsuit, said, well, because he's an undocumented person, he wasn't able to make a claim for lost wages in the future because he couldn't prove that he was being paid by his employer. But because of us, because of the great personal injury lawyers we have here at Spar & Bernstein, we convinced the judge that that's nonsense. We successfully got him any back pay that he was entitled to.
Well, that's an amazing job. And God forbid you or anybody is injured in an accident, you need really good attorneys to represent you. You only have one shot to make all of your income. If you think about it, you get injured in an accident when you're 40 years old. You have 30 years of employment. So you're making $50,000 a year. That's $1.5 million in lost wages, plus inflation, plus your medical bills and everything else. it adds up very fast to millions and millions and millions of dollars. And God forbid you get into an accident, and even more, God forbid, you hire the wrong attorney. You only have one shot at getting the most money you can. So please save our telephone number. It's 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. God forbid you or anyone you know gets into an accident. Make sure they call us right away. And as you just learned from Moshe, whether you're documented, you're undocumented, you're on the books, you're off the books, if you get hurt on the job, you have a case, but you got to document it with your phone. And then you got to call your lawyer, Moshe the Bulldozer. Moshe, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Brad.
And we'll see you soon. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. I love that name, Moshe the Bulldozer. I love that name. By the way, I saw a lot of comments.
Yeah.
If you're undocumented in New York State, you're entitled to lost wages in a personal injury case, whether it's a construction accident or any auto accident or anything else.
Right.
Now, there are special rules in New York State for construction accidents that make it, you don't have to argue liability if something falls on you or you fall generally, as long as you can prove either something fell on you or you fell from a height. In New York State, it's strict liability, which is different than almost any other case.
Okay.
All right, Belgium Kim, it's social media time.
Oh, yeah, it is. Our first question is from Rohan, and Rohan said, my sister filed her I-751 in September of last year, but it's still pending. She's scheduled to give birth in the next 2 weeks. Does she have to inform USCIS that she had a baby, or are they just going to find out on their own?
They're not going to find out on their own, but when they schedule an interview for you, you bring the birth certificate.
Hamid said, I passed a naturalization test in August of 2018, and up till now, USCIS has made no decision. What's going on?
They're delaying your case. You need to file a mandamus or maybe even a de novo review.
29 said, good evening, Brad. My company is going to file an I-140 by the end of this week. I'm hoping to get my green card through my work company in the U.S. after this process. I'm presently working in Trinidad for the U.S.-based company. Can you give me some guidance on the following? 1, when can the company file the I-485 after the I-140 is approved?
You can't if you're not in America. So if the I-140, if you're working for a company in Trinidad and you're being sponsored by an American company to come work in America, your approved I-140 is going to go to the National Visa Center. You're going to pay the fee bills and process to get a green card at the U.S. Embassy in Trinidad.
Okay, so what's the priority date currently, he's saying, for the I-485?
The priority date's current.
Okay.
But you're not doing an I-45.
Right, because he can't.
He's doing consular processing.
Right. And then finally, he says, please elaborate or clarify the following statement from the Visa Bulletin. The fiscal year 2019 limit for employment-based preference immigrants calculated under an INA section is set to 7%. My thinking is that only 25,000 applicants can be approved using the I-485 via the approval I-140. Is that true? And if not, please advise.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. It says it exactly here. How many people for employment-based, preferences?
Right.
But I don't know what category you're in.
Ah, that would help. Shireen said, I'm filing for citizenship. Do I have to attach an explanation along with my dismissed charges letter? Or do I just tell the officer what happened during the interview? Give me some advice.
The explanation is attached as disposition, and the disposition says what happened.
Mahoney says, how long does the I-601 waiver take before you can go ahead and sue the government? I'm at the 7-month mark now.
12 months.
Hey, it's Carice said, the U.S. citizen that's on disability hasn't filed taxes and was told that he doesn't have to. How will he navigate that on the I-130 form, and would he still need to do an affidavit of support to file for his wife and stepson?
You need an affidavit of support whether you make money or not. If you don't have it, you file the I-130 on the affidavit of support. When it comes time to do that, you're going to put your income down. But you're not gonna have a tax return. You're gonna show your disability payments, which you're saying is not taxable, and you probably need a second affidavit of support from somebody else.
Porteous says, where do I go in New York to get my passport stamped?
26 Federal Plaza.
Julia USA said, I've got a question about lesbian marriage. If I married a lesbian American girl and then she decided to divorce me before the interview after a year, what can I do for my next marriage? Should it only be to a woman? Can I go back and forth?
Well, I mean, I guess you can go back and forth if you choose to, but if you're asking about reality,
right?
The reality is that immigration is very suspect of same-sex marriages right now.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so all the same-sex marriage cases are being put on hold, and they do investigations to determine whether it's your friend who married or it's real loving marriage. If you file a same-sex marriage and you get divorced, and then all of a sudden now you fall in love with an American man, they will also be suspect. Obviously, the answer is I'm bisexual.
Right.
It's not unheard of.
Right.
Okay. Miley Cyrus. Okay. You look at Miley Cyrus.
Right.
Okay. So it's not unheard of, except immigration. They got blinders on.
Right.
And they don't know about all this fluidity.
Right.
Okay. They just know you're either a homosexual, you're not. You're either gay, lesbian, you're not.
Right.
Okay. So you're looking for more questions and issues if you get into a same-sex marriage and then that doesn't work out, and now you're in a more traditional marriage. You're just looking for more issues and problems and more heightened scrutiny of each of your marriages. The other thing I would say is this, okay? Immigration is looking at everybody's social media right now.
Right.
Okay, so if you're in a same-sex marriage, your social media better show you in like
same-sex relationships.
Same-sex relationships.
Right.
You know, all of a sudden you have like 5 boyfriends on social media for the last 5 years.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you're in a same-sex marriage. Like, what?
That's fair. God, that's so difficult because that happens to some people.
Right.
And how are they supposed to prove that?
Like, I'm just telling you.
No, you're totally right.
I'm just telling you, reality.
What you're doing,
some people come out of the closet and don't even realize that they're who they are.
Exactly. All I'm saying is, this is, once again, Brad is driving home the point as to why you need to bring a lawyer to all of these things, you guys. Patuma said, my husband became a citizen today. Congratulations, hubby. What documents do we need to file, and how soon can we submit the documents to USCIS?
Well, I guess assuming you want to adjust your status, you came here legally, it would be an adjustment, an I-485 application, an I-130, I-765 for your work permit, I-131 for your advanced parole, the I-864 for the affidavit of support, the I-130A, which is your information, the person getting the green card. In addition, your marriage certificate, copy of the naturalization. By the way, these are copies. The forms are the originals, but your naturalization, which would be a copy of your marriage certificate. If either of you were married before, divorce decrees, 3 years tax returns, birth certificates, blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Lots of stuff. Safi said, how long does it take when you file the mandamus? Because my VAWA case was pending for almost 3 years with no approval. I did not pay because the application fee was waived.
How much for a mandamus?
How long for a mandamus?
A mandamus is like 30 days.
Is she eligible for it through VAWA?
Yes.
Pending for 3 years? It's definitely that time. And said, if my case is still under review, does my daughter's case stop processing too? My husband filed the I-130 for her in Jamaica, and her case said it was transferred to the office with jurisdiction since February. But my case,
generally speaking, they're not going to approve your daughter until you get your green card. So yeah, your daughter's is probably on hold waiting on your green card. And if she's been more than 120 days since her interview, she should be filing a mandamus too.
Boom. Chuka said, a friend got his 2-year green card on June 2018, and it's due to remove the conditions in March of next year. When would he be able to file for citizenship? He's still married to the same woman.
When did he get his 2-year?
June 2018.
And he has not removed the conditions yet?
We'll remove them in March of next year.
After you remove the conditions, you're eligible for citizenship.
Woot woot! Yeah. Island Girl said my friend's husband filed an adjustment of status, but he got audited by the IRS for 2016 and found out that he owes the government $8,000. He's now on a payment plan, but is this going to affect her case?
No.
I like some good news, Brad. Claudette said, after filing tax returns, the IRS wrote my husband stating that he owed taxes. My husband is a My husband is a long-term permanent resident who is temporary working out of the country on a re-entry permit. Is this going to affect my affidavit of support when he files for me? He's never worked in the U.S. before.
Well, yeah, he's never worked in the United States, so he's going to sign an affidavit of support showing no income, even though he has to file a tax return as a green card for the income he earned somewhere else.
Right.
But you're going to need a second affidavit of support from somebody else.
Kings TV said, I've been in America for the last 5 years and my case is still pending with immigration. I filed around 3 years ago and my I-360 and I-480 are still pending. And now it's time for me to renew on my work permit. What should I do?
File a mandamus and renew your work permit.
And another question, I also got...
I mean, my answer to everybody who is delayed is file a mandamus. It's like I'm a broken record. I am telling you it works. It's so... And by the way, you know, it really if you once you file a mandamus, government can't put you in removal till they make a decision.
Right. Haha. So even if they don't make a decision, you're at least not going to be in removal.
Correct.
Haha. King is also wondering if possession of drug paraphernalia would bring his case to an end. He's the one that filed the I-360 and the I-480, and they're still pending. It's
Not
just
drug
a ticket.
Not drug paraphernalia, no.
Okay, because he didn't go to jail, no arrest, it's just paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Great.
He had the weed paper.
Right, surely you can't go for weed paper?
No, he's fine.
Because you can buy that at a bodega. Jesse said, I'm a summer work and travel student. My visa will expire soon, and a family friend who's a citizen of the U.S. would like to adopt me. I'm 19 years old. Is it possible? And if so, how long would it take, and how would we go about starting the process?
You can't. Adoption has to be before 16, but if you're 19 and in the United States, and you've been abandoned or neglected by your parents, one of whom is in another country or in another state, then you can go and do a special juvenile immigrant and get that person can get legal guardianship of you.
There is a way. Sam said, I came here on a B2 and I extended it for 6 more months. After that, I applied for the H3, which was denied a year later. I'm out of status for years now, but I'm married to a U.S. citizen. Could I apply for my green card?
Yes, file the adjustment.
Don't wait. RO said, before going to my interview, I changed my address and my fingerprint was taken and a picture. After the interview, I got an RFE. Is that a good thing? And how long does it take to actually get the green card?
It's not a good thing when you get an RFE. That means that you didn't submit everything at the first time.
Yeah. And how long will it actually take to get his green card? Yeah.
When will this man get his green card?
Yeah, that's a good question.
When will he get his green card?
Yeah.
Will it be in less than a year? It says, signs point to yes.
Oh, that's great news.
Magic 8 Ball says less than a year.
Strikes again with the good news.
Yes.
Andre said, my question's about TPS. I had that and it was administratively closed in 2012. Now I'm a green card holder. Do I need to do something to terminate the TPS case, or should that already be closed?
It's closed. You have a green card.
Right. Garfield said, I filed a DS-260, however, I made a mistake on it and on the question if I was denied a visa before or denied entry. I put no, but I've been denied before because I got a visitor's visa. It's a 2-part question that should have answered yes, then no. Could it be fixed at the interview?
Yes, as soon as you walk into the interview, you say something before they even start questioning you.
Like, oh, hey, before you notice this, I made a mistake.
Right.
Okay. Landry said, I went for my adjustment of status marriage interview yesterday and it was a Stokes interview, but everything went well. The interviewing officer was very calm. At the end of the interview, which lasted about 3 hours, the officer said my case would be reviewed and the decision would be mailed to me in the next 2 weeks. And after that, he asked if I don't mind to drop my passport because he'd like to verify something from where my visa was issued, and he'll mail the passport back to me within a week. I gave it to them. My question is, why is my case wanting to be reviewed, and should I be concerned about the passport thing?
Yeah, they think you're doing something wrong. There's something fishy with the passport and the visa. That at least they think it is.
Oh, that's bad news bears. Connie said, my friend who's a green card holder petitioned for her child who was 20 in January of last year. Can you say how long the process is going to take as the child is not in the U.S.?
7 years.
King said his friend got a work permit and the work permit expired this month and he already applied for a new one. This is about the possession charge, and we already answered it.
Okay.
Augustine said, I overstayed in the U.S. for 11 years with a visitor's visa, but I got married last year to a U.S. citizen, and my wife unfortunately abused me. I filed a VAWA case, and I have my combo card. Could I leave the U.S. and return with no problem?
Yes, as long as you have a pending case, yes.
And our final question of this round is from Joel Edme, who said, I went to adjust my status, my adjustment of status hearing today. The judge said is still using my old last name that I used for my asylum case. I'd like to know if when I get my green card under my I-130 petition from my husband, if my name is actually going to be updated on that.
What's the issue?
The immigration judge that they saw today for the adjustment of status hearing used her last name used her maiden name.
You're going to get the green card in the maiden name. That's how it's going to be.
Okay.
Meanwhile, hip-hop and social justice go together, Belgium, Kim.
That's right, they do.
And since we are both fans, and since we are fans of both,
we are
hip-hop and social justice
yes.
here at Bradshaw Live, we sent one of our new Bradshaw Live correspondents, Umazi Mvurya, to cover the Universal Hip Hop Parade for Social Justice in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. The parade is held in honor of the Jamaican political activist Marcus Garvey on his birthday, August 17th, 1887. Let's check it out.
Hey Brad Squad, I'm Umazi Mvurya, a new face at Bradshaw Live. Today I'm bringing you inside the Universal Hip Hop Parade for Social Justice right here in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. The Universal Hip Hop Parade is a non-profit that has been assembling actors, activists, businesses, artists, and neighbors for nearly 20 years in its annual parade. It's the world's longest celebration of hip-hop culture that encompasses all of its traditional elements such as breakdancing, rapping, singing, and acting. Before we start, a little bit about my immigration story. I was born and raised in Nairobi, Kenya plus 254. Shout out to my country. Before moving to the United States at 18 years in 2012 to pursue a bachelor's education at Oberlin College in Ohio. After I graduated, I joined the non-profit sector and worked on OPT before adjusting my status. I just got my green card after adjusting my status for 2 years, so best believe I know the struggle. Well, enough about me, enough about all of that, and let's get to the parade and see what's going on. Follow me. Hey Brasco, so I'm here with one of the co-chairs and participants and spokesperson of the parade.
Hey, you already know it's Mike Christie, DJ Dr. Hollywood, co-chair of the Universal Hip Hop Parade 2019. Shout out to everybody that's out here.
Hi, that's your boy, Shannon One Baller B Fresh, founder and president of Big Ballers Bike Club. You know, it's just an honor to be here.
So why the Universal Hip Hop Parade for Social Justice?
The Universal Hip Hop Parade for Social Justice is held in honor of Marcus Garvey's birthday, which is today, August 17th. Marcus Garvey founded the UNIA, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, and he used to use parades to get the word out to the people. This is what we're doing now in the name of hip hop.
Why Marcus Garvey?
Our founder was a Garveyite, and Marcus Garvey ran one of the biggest African American organized groups, so that's what we're about.
And so why are you here participating in this organization and the parade?
Our bicycle club is out for 12 years, and we love to do stuff for the community. You feel me? So my club is out here to support the Universal Hip Hop Parade, to show love to our youth, stop the guns, put the guns down, no violence, just peace and love out here. So that's what Big Ballers stand for. And for these young youth out here, show love to us.
So I'm here with one of the grand marshals of the parade today. So why the Universal Hip Hop Parade for Social Justice?
Why not? Hip hop is everything. The whole reason hip hop was made, so we can, let the world know about the injustices going on in our community, and let the art reflect the life that we've been experiencing, that we've been given our whole lives.
So what's the importance of centralizing the social justice aspect of hip hop, and what does parades such as these do to amplify that message?
Well, one, it lets people know that there's a core to hip hop that's just not about monetization and popularity, that the hip hop and the essence of the art and the craft was created as a means to let the world know what we're going through.
Legends such as Biggie, Tupac, and most recently Nipsey Hussle have succumbed to gun violence. What are some of the things that we could do as a community or steps to be taken so that we can try and nullify this?
I think a lot of the elders need to stop acting like they on some high horse and get down and work with the youth. The reality is that the community that's been perpetrating our community is the white community, and they've been using anything they can as a means to create violence in the community versus finding ways like they do now, do gang intervention, gang workshops to help kids grow and things like that. But if they were doing that in the 70s versus giving these people guns, giving them drugs, and giving them ways to kill themselves, we would be way better off.
What are your feelings about the Trump's administration's zero tolerance at the southern border?
We live in this country, and this country is built off of white supremacists and ran by white supremacists. They've been separating people from their families since they got here. That's all we know as Africans that we've been here.
What's your name, beautiful?
My name is Jakai, but everybody calls me Jay.
What organization are you representing today?
I'm representing the designer, Wiz. He's on the float right there.
Okay. Is this your first time participating in this parade?
Yes.
And how do you feel about that?
It's fun, to be honest. It's hot, but it's fun.
What are your feelings about the Trump's administration's rhetoric towards immigrants and migrant families?
I think it's disgusting. Like, immigrants made this country. It's ridiculous that they can't get in because of where they're from. Like, his wife is not even American, so it's ridiculous.
So what is your immigration story?
My dad, his ancestors are from Africa. My mom is Puerto Rican and Irish, so I'm kind of all over.
All right, so we switched it up, and now we are part of the parade, and I'm here with
4G. Hey, Pizzy, you know the word.
Is this your first time participating in the parade?
It's my first time, but I feel like home though. You feel me? Good vibes.
Do you know who the parade is honoring this year?
Marcus Garvey.
Hey, okay. So what you know about Marcus Garvey?
Honestly, I don't know much about Marcus Garvey. I want to learn more.
He came from Jamaica and migrated to the US and really led a lot of the actions around Black power and fighting the structures in the 1920s. Segueing into migration and immigration, what are your feelings around Trump and his administration's rhetoric around immigration, separation of families, and almost zero tolerance on asylum seekers at the US southern border?
I feel like that's wrong, man. All of us wouldn't be here without that. Like, our parents is not from here. All my dogs' parents is not from here. So I probably wouldn't even met my dogs. Like, that's crazy.
Where are you from? And what's your immigration story? Or where are your parents from?
All right, I'm from Africa. I'm from Ghana. I was born there. I came here when I was 3. My father's Panamanian and my mother is Trinidadian and Grenadian.
So what brings you here today?
Today is Marcus Garvey's birthday, and the parade is a tribute in his honor. Our culture's being lost, and this parade keeps it alive.
Is this your first time here?
This is my first time participating in the parade. I like the love, the unity that I see with the people, you know, the joy within them.
So you mentioned Marcus Garvey. Are you aware or familiar with Marcus Garvey's migration story?
No, but I know that he is from Jamaica, came to the States, round up over 1 million people to go back. I know that part of it. But I always view America as the world's country. America belongs to the world. The world belongs to everyone.
What are your feelings towards President Trump's almost zero tolerance on asylum seekers and like the separation of families?
Ignorance is a terrible thing. Make America great again. America was never great, and I'm not saying that in an ugly way. America, where did it come from? Where did all this come from? So Trump is only exposing what America was trying to cover. His focus is just money. So when your focus is just money, human lives don't matter. He doesn't see these people as humans.
Brad Squad, we had a great time here at the Universal Hip Hop Parade for Social Justice. We talked to organizers, participants, community members, and the mission and message is clear. People are here to celebrate unity, love, and focus on the social justice mission of hip hop culture. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Now back to the studio.
I like that. That was very good.
I love that.
Yeah, that was very good. Very good.
Okay.
All right.
I feel there. You know what day it is today, right, Brad?
Thursday.
It's the day we keep the Guinness Book of World Records for number of immigration questions asked and answered in under 120 seconds.
How many are we going to do in under 120 seconds?
15 questions.
15 questions.
Are you ready?
In 120 seconds.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you feel ready to do this,
We don't
though?
have a clock. Where's the clock?
We got this.
There's no clock. There we
it
go.
is.
All right, you ready?
Wait, take those
There
two
you go.
off. Thanks.
Right,
I don't
okay.
need them. I don't need them, Julian. I
All
appreciate you looking out, but I don't need them.
1 second.
Yeah. I know I'm springing this on you, Brad. I
Yes.
realize this. I kind of strong on my way into this, but I feel strongly.
Okay, let's go.
Sammy says, I filed an I-765 and an I-131 on my own with my VAWA. Is it possible that Vermont will accept me if I do it, or do I need a lawyer?
You can do it yourself.
Rita said, my husband and I applied for asylum in February of this year. When should we expect the interview?
Probably in another few months.
Shanice said, how long does it take to get a reply about a case upgrade?
Could be anywhere from a month to a year.
Catherine said, when filing a joint affidavit of support, do both sponsors file the I-864, or does one do the I-864 and the other one do the EZ?
No, one does the I-864, and the other, and a joint sponsor would do an additional I-864.
Marlon said, is it safe to travel and you're on your 2-year green card before it expires in 3 months?
Yes.
Nico said, if you filed a joint petition for the I-751 and your status changed before your scheduled interview, how long will it take to get a new interview date after informing USCIS of your divorce?
Oh, at least a year.
Mohammed said, I filed an I-130 for my spouse in 2018. Should I be worried that the new public charges would start in October?
Yes.
Alexandra said, I'm a recent green card holder and have not yet found a job. Should I wait to find a job to file taxes?
Yes.
Ben said, is it true that they now call you for an interview before issuing the work permit?
Sometimes that's what's happening now.
Danette said, can a U.S. citizen who's locked up file for his spouse? He's currently locked up in Florida.
Yes.
Alina said, with that certificate, what is a certificate of good conduct?
It's a certificate from a police station in a local district that says that you've never been arrested.
Noiki said, my wife filed for me an I-130 and it's been over a year. What should we do and what's next?
File a mandamus.
Giovanna said, what happens if the U.S. government deported a citizen?
Then they should go to the U.S. Embassy, get a U.S. passport, and come back immediately.
Christopher said, can a B-2 visa overstayer get married to a U.S. citizen and adjust their status?
Yes, they can.
Clayton said, how long is the I-601 waiver taking before USCIS gives an answer?
About a year. Guinness Book of World Record. I mean, this is...
I'm chilling.
I mean, I don't think we've blown up the studio in weeks.
Oh, we could call off the bomb squad we keep having here, Brad.
That's right.
Woo! I feel good.
I'm going to tell you something. Coolio,
yeah.
He used to stand here with the fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
He doesn't even bother coming in anymore.
No more. Drop the fire extinguisher,
That's
man.
right.
We got this.
All right. Comments of the day, Belgium Kim. Comments of the day.
Jeff Bosey took not changing anything a little too much to heart, Brad. He said, Kim and Brad asked that we don't do anything differently today. I don't know. How did they know I'm wearing the same underwear? Weird.
Jeff, a little TMI there, right?
TMI, man.
TMI.
Yeah, we know
Right.
you got more than one pair of underwear,
just
man.
Go home and take a shower, Jeff.
Yeah,
Go home and take a shower.
Change those bad
Yes,
boys.
all right.
Terry DeReal said, squat up, Belgium, Kim and Uncle Brad. Yo-Yo sends his love when he called me through my imagination today.
Yo-Yo is missed.
Yo-Yo is missed, let me
Yes.
tell you. Jacobs just said, since I started to watch Uncle Brad, I've learned a lot of things. Keep up the good job.
Thank you, Nikisha.
I love that's Jacobs, and that's Nikisha.
Jacobs.
Nikisha.
Yeah, she can't fool me anymore.
Boom, I see you now. Blessed Angel said, all I do is watch your show after they get uploaded every day.
Oh, very nice.
Man,
I do that too.
A live and a repeat watcher.
I do it live.
Right.
And then I watch the repeat. So I'm like that too. I do it twice.
Yeah, except Bless is watching it twice.
But you want to know what it is? Well, that's even more amazing. Because
right.
Honestly, when I do the show, I don't remember it because I'm so focused.
No.
And then I go back and watch it and go, oh yeah.
You get tunnel vision when you're in here. Everything goes so fast, you kind of forget it. And finally, our last one of the day, who's going to send us off into the weekend, it's going to be Catherine E., who said, Brad, you are the compass that all immigrants need.
Well, that's very nice. That was very well said. Thank you very much.
Isn't that so poetic?
Yes. All right. So, everybody, I am going to be in Paris for the weekend. I'm actually leaving in about an hour and a half.
Right.
I will be back Monday morning, so there will be a show Monday evening at a little after 5:30. We'll see you then. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay.
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it, I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465.